So the Vel 46 actually ended up getting a buff within the last update, so I put it to the test, and man, this thing did not disappoint. It's been very busted. I mean, I've been destroying lobbies, I've been dropping nukes, and I got some really good gameplay to share with you guys here in today's video. So what I'm going to do is first I'll show you guys the class setup, the tunes and things like that, everything that I'm rocking with this setup, and then after that, while I show you guys the gameplay, we'll talk about the patch notes and the exact changes that they did in that last update and what really made this gun so strong. But anyways, let's go ahead, let's jump into it. So the first one that I have is the Vel A collapse stock. This one is really good for the ADS and the movement, just raises the movement a lot. Obviously, there's big flaws to it. There's the recoil, which will counteract that with other attachments to make it as viable and as best as possible. So the next thing that I have is the VLK laser. There's also no tuning for this one. This one is where the ADS speed comes in, a little bit more movement, and there's really no flaws to it, just the aim down sight being visible. And usually with SMG, I'm not really aiming down sight too much and camping it. So by the time I aim in, person's already dead before they realize it. So next thing that we have right here is the rear grip. That is the ZLR combat grip. For this is for the recoil control, as I mentioned, really good, raises that. And then this is what I have for the tuning towards recoil steadiness. Aim down sight speed's already fast on this gun, so I don't really worry about that too much, especially with the laser that I attached. And then we have the muzzle. The muzzle helps a lot with the recoil. And then there's the flaw with the ADS. But as I mentioned, with everything together, this will make it even it out and make it really good. And then for the tuning for this, we got the recoil smoothness at 0.54. And then I haven't touched the bottom. And then we got the 60 round mag, so that way you don't have to reload as often. So we ended up getting 3 new changes to the Vel 46 in the last update, and here are the patch notes for that. So the first one is they reduced the hipfire spread. This thing doesn't have that much hipfire spread anymore, so it shoots like a laser even if you're hip firing. That's really going to be overpowered in close quarter combat, so in shipment, if you play like Building 21, this might be a really good weapon for you to use. The next thing that they did is they increased the movement speed, so now you're moving a lot faster. You're actually moving like you're holding a light SMG weapon. Gets you moving faster without you having to adjust your tunes and adding more flaws to the weapon. Now you can just flank people and get behind them a lot quicker. The next thing that they did is they also increased the far damage. So if you thought it was just good in close range, but nope, they made it even better for far range as well. So now this thing actually shreds and melts, especially with the damage increase on that. But let's talk about the base stats of this weapon and why it's such a good SMG, especially with that new update. So in terms of damage, this thing does 40 to the head, 25 to the upper body, 25 to the lower body, and 23 to the legs. Now another really good thing about this gun is the rounds per minute. This thing shoots at 979 rounds per minute, which is the second highest, right after the Fennec 45, which I ended up making a video about. If you missed that, feel free to check that out. But let's talk about the next positive thing about this weapon is the reload. So this thing reloads at 1.95 seconds, which is the fastest in the SMG category. So if you don't like that 60 round mag that I ended up adding to it, you can actually take that off and only lose 20 bullets because the base has 40 bullets in each mag. So that could be more than enough for you to get a couple kills with before you need to think about reloading. So you can work towards adding more recoil to it or maybe even more speed to it. It's up to you and up to your preference. But anyways, now that I got the good things out of the way, let's talk about the bad things about this weapon. So there's one thing that I really don't like, and that is the time to kill, and that is at 184 milliseconds, making this the third longest to kill weapon. So the first one being the BASP, we already know this thing is not the best. And then after that, we have the PDW, and then followed by this one is the Vel at 184. So that's a flaw right there, but with these attachments, we tried to mitigate that and make it as best as possible, get it as fast as possible. So yeah, it definitely does take a second, but I think with these attachments, it'll definitely make it a more viable and more overpowered weapon for you to use. So I definitely feel like this is a really good weapon, especially with the new buffs that they have done. This could definitely be a contender. I don't think it's going to be a meta, but for those of you guys who are new to the game and you have just gotten the game, the Vel is already unlocked, so you can actually use this weapon. And at base, it's not bad, so you won't be able to use the attachments that I have because you'll have to level up different weapons and things like that in order to be able to use it. But this is one of the best weapons that you have access to when you first start the game. So I definitely would recommend you use this to level yourself up as well as level the gun up for those of you guys who are trying to grind out the game or just got the game recently for Christmas or something like that. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this class setup. Let me know if there's anything else you guys want to see here on the channel. Also, feel free to comment down below if there's any guns that you like and you want some good tunes for. Comment them down below. I'll make some videos on those and I'll break them down and see what's good and what's bad about these weapons. But But yeah, that's all that I got for you guys in today's video. Tomorrow we'll most likely be posting a news video talking about some upcoming DLC weapons, things like that, as well as the next update that we are going to be receiving here in Modern Warfare 2. But anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. It's been your boy Tridzo. Hopefully you guys found this video helpful and informative. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and hopefully I'll be seeing you guys on the channel again.
Securing objective Bravo.
Yeah, none of my money be fun. Nigga book, I don't know. And let's make this
Victory secure. Good fighting.
What the hell?